You're watching PaperLoud, stories you can feel, questions that change you. Because every truth has a voice. Imagine this, you're stuck in traffic, emails piling up, your boss breathing down your neck. Your phone buzzes with another catastrophic headline. Floods here, wars there, AI taking your job tomorrow. And then the person next to you, calm as a monk. No panic, no rage, no meltdown. What's their secret? We call it resilience. And let's be honest, it's become one of those buzzwords everyone throws around, like hustle or mindfulness. But here's the thing, most people have it completely wrong. Resilience isn't about being bulletproof. It's not about never breaking down. And calmness isn't about some mystical Zen state you achieve after 10 years in a monastery. The myth is simple. People think resilience means always tough, that you power through every disaster without a scratch. That's Hollywood nonsense. Real life doesn't work like that. Even the strongest people crack. The truth is, resilience isn't about not falling. It's about how you get back up. And calmness isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending you don't care. It's about regulating the storm inside so it doesn't control your every move. Picture this. Resilience is the shock absorber on a car. Calmness is the steering wheel. One helps you survive the bumps, the other keeps you on the road. Without both, you're just a passenger in your own life. Now here's where science laughs at our misconceptions. For decades, people believed resilience was a trait, something you're born with, like eye color. Tough kids stay tough, fragile kids break. End of story. But the latest research says otherwise. Resilience is trainable. Your brain, your body, your habits, they can all adapt. Neuroplasticity proves it. Your brain rewires itself with practice. You can literally build resilience like a muscle. And yet, we live in an age where resilience is more needed than ever and more absent than ever. We've got the highest rates of anxiety and burnout in history. Depression is climbing. Doom scrolling keeps millions stuck in nightly spirals of bad news. Our collective mental immune system is breaking down. So the big question is, if resilience and calmness are learnable, why don't most people learn them? Why do we spend hours in the gym sculpting our bodies, but leave our minds flabby, vulnerable, and exhausted? The answer is because we train for the wrong things. We think distraction is relaxation. We think pushing harder makes us stronger. We think resilience means grate your teeth and endure. But endurance without recovery isn't resilience, it's self-destruction. The science of resilience. Let's strip resilience down to the lab level, because behind every motivational Instagram quote, there's a messy biological reality, and it's actually far more interesting than the cliches. Self-compassion, the underrated superpower. We live in cultures that worship self-discipline and self-criticism. Push harder, toughen up, don't be soft. But research is now screaming the opposite. One of the strongest predictors of resilience is self-compassion. Self-compassion means three things. Self-kindness, treating yourself like you would treat a close friend. No, it's not indulgence, it's survival. Common humanity, realizing your failures aren't unique. Everyone screws up. You're not defective, you're human. And mindfulness, recognizing your emotions without drowning in them. I feel anxious right now instead of I am anxiety. Studies in 2024 followed stressed university students. Those with higher self-compassion didn't just feel better, they recovered faster from setbacks, had lower cortisol levels, and showed more adaptive brain patterns. Translation: being kind to yourself literally rewires your stress response. The nervous system, your hidden control room. Now let's get physical. Resilience isn't just in your head, it's in your vagus nerve, your heart rate, your breath. The Polyvagal Theory, once fringe, is now mainstream. It shows how your body decides whether you're safe or under attack, long before your conscious brain notices. When the system says danger, your body hits fight, flight, or freeze. When it says safe, you regain access to creativity, empathy, and problem solving. Here's the hack. You can train this system. Slow breathing, longer exhales, grounding your body, all of this flips your switch back to safety. It's biology, not magic. Think of it like a thermostat. Stress raises the temperature, calm practices reset it. Ignore the system and you're permanently overheated. Train it and you stay cool, even in a heat wave. Neuroplasticity, your brain's cheat code. Old psychology textbooks said, by adulthood, your brain is fixed. Wrong. Today, we know the brain is plastic, constantly reshaping itself in response to experience. This is the ultimate cheat code for resilience. Every time you regulate your breath instead of exploding, every time you show yourself compassion instead of self-loathing, you're carving new neural pathways. Repeat them often enough, and they become your default. That's why resilience training isn't about one heroic act. It's about boring repetition. Micro habits create macro strength. Neuroplasticity is the reason trauma doesn't have to define you forever. It's the reason therapy works, and it's the reason a 50-year-old can learn to stay calm under pressure just as much as a 15-year-old. Digital overload, the resilience killer we ignore. And then there's the modern enemy, screens. Let's be blunt. Our nervous systems weren't built for 24/7 news cycles, TikTok dopamine hits, and group chats buzzing at 3 a.m. Digital overload is the silent resilience killer. It hijacks attention, floods the brain with stress signals, and keeps your nervous system in a constant low-grade alarm. Studies link excessive screen time to higher anxiety or sleep and weaker emotional regulation. It's not just about wasted time, it's about weakened mental immunity. Imagine trying to build physical strength while eating junk food all day. That's what doom scrolling does to resilience. Digital hygiene is the new nutrition. Curated feeds, device-free hours, saying no to notifications that don't matter. These aren't lifestyle hacks, they're survival strategies. So if resilience is trainable, why do so many people still fail at it? Why are burnout rates skyrocketing? Why do millions collapse under pressure even though we've got more self-help books than ever? Because most of us fall into the same traps. Trap 1. The cult of toughness. We confuse resilience with toughness. Wheelmen don't cry. Boss ladies don't rest. Push through, no excuses. This isn't resilience. It's denial dressed up as strength, and denial breaks. Science is clear. People who suppress emotions don't become stronger. They become time bombs. Studies on emotional suppression show higher blood pressure, weaker immunity, and more explosive breakdowns later. Psychologists call it the inner critic, that constant voice in your head pointing out every flaw. Evolution made it loud. In prehistoric times, spotting mistakes quickly could save your life. But today, that same voice doesn't protect you. It paralyzes you. That's why self-compassion isn't weakness. It's the antidote to an outdated survival system. Real resilience isn't about biting the bullet. It's about knowing when to bite and when to rest, adapt, or ask for help. Trap 2. Distraction as relaxation. You've had a long day, so you collapse on the couch, phone in hand, scrolling for hours. Feels like rest, right? Wrong. That's numbing, not recovering. Your brain doesn't recharge by drowning in memes or the next conspiracy rabbit hole. Recovery is active. Sleep, nature, movement, breath, silence. That's where your nervous system resets. Without those, you're basically pouring more stress into an already full glass. Trap 3. Toxic ecosystems. Here's an ugly truth. Resilience isn't just an individual skill, it's social, and many of us are trapped in ecosystems that sabotage it. Colleagues who dump stress on you, friends who thrive on drama, families who belittle instead of support. Research shows one of the strongest predictors of resilience isn't IQ, money, or even personal habits. It's social support. Who you surround yourself with matters more than any morning routine. If your environment constantly pulls you down, resilience is like trying to swim with weights tied to your feet. The real toolkit. So what actually works? Let's break it down into evidence-based practices, not fluffy tips, but methods backed by neuroscience and psychology. Breath as medicine. Forget incense and gongs. Breathing is your most accessible resilience tool. Slow, deep breathing activates the vagus nerve, cooling the body's stress response. Even 2 minutes of 3-5 breathing, inhale for 3 seconds, exhale for 5, shifts your system from panic to calm. Here's the catch. Your body can't tell the difference between a tiger in the jungle and a toxic email from your boss. Both trigger the same alarm system. That's the nervous system's blind spot. Unless you learn to regulate it through breathing, grounding, slowing down, you stay stuck in survival mode for threats that aren't even life or death. Journaling for emotional regulation. Putting thoughts into words sounds basic, but it's neurological gold. Journaling creates distance between you and your feelings, reducing rumination. In studies, people who journaled daily showed better stress recovery and even stronger immune responses. Movement as therapy. Exercise doesn't just build muscles, it trains your brain. Physical activity increases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Translation, moving your body literally helps your brain rewire for resilience. Self-compassion rituals. Try this. When you screw up, instead of "I'm worthless," say, "This is hard. Everyone struggles. I can handle it." Sounds cheesy? Maybe, but brains don't care about cheesy. They care about repetition. Self-compassion scripts practiced daily rewire the default voice in your head from critic to coach. Digital hygiene. Delete what doesn't serve you. Silence notifications. Put the phone in another room at night. Treat your information diet like your food diet. Junk in, junk out. Micro recoveries. You don't need week-long retreats. What you need are micro recoveries. 30-second pauses for breeze, a stretch, or step outside. These micro habits accumulate, keeping your nervous system from kipping into chronic stress. Purpose and values. The positive psychology PERMA model shows people with clear values and purpose handle adversity better. Purpose acts like an anchor. Storms still shake you, but you don't drift aimlessly. This isn't about adding 50 new tasks to your to-do list. It's about integrating resilience into daily life. The paradox? The more resilience becomes routine, the less you think about it. It stops being practice and becomes your default operating system. Modern challenges, social dimension, and closing. Here's the catch. We're trying to build resilience in a world designed to destroy it. Let's not sugarcoat it. Modern life is a resilience stress test on steroids. The age of constant crisis, climate anxiety, economic instability, the endless race of automation and AI, a pandemic that rewired how we work, live, and trust each other. Add to that the pressure of social media, the highlight reels of other people's perfect lives, and you've got a cocktail that leaves entire generations feeling like failures before they've even started. Gen Z is often labeled fragile, but maybe fragility isn't the problem. Maybe the problem is that they're the first to fully live in a 24/7 stressed environment. Older generations had breaks, offline time. Today's teenagers, their own stage, every second compared against the entire planet. Resilience here isn't optional. It's survival. The ecosystem effect. And resilience isn't just about you, it's about your environment, your support system, your community. Neuroscience is blunt. Isolation kills resilience. Chronic loneliness hits the body as hard as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not a metaphor, that's research. Psychologists call them cognitive distortions, thinking errors that twist reality. Maybe you catastrophize. If I fail once, everything is ruined. Or you think in black and white, either I'm perfect or I'm worthless. These patterns don't reflect truth. They reflect stress. Spotting them is the first step to breaking their grip. Flip the script and the opposite is true. Strong connections act like an emotional exoskeleton. With the right people around you, you're not just resilient, you're anti-fragile. You don't just survive chaos, you grow from it. So ask yourself, who's in your ecosystem? Who drains you and who strengthens you? Resilience isn't just self-work, it's also social pruning. Sometimes the bravest act isn't meditating, it's walking away from people who break you. Resilience isn't invincibility. This is crucial. Resilience isn't about becoming invincible. You will still feel stress. You will still feel fear. You will still break down sometimes. The difference is you won't stay broken. Resilience isn't the absence of pain, it's the ability to carry pain without losing your direction. Calmness isn't the absence of chaos, it's the ability to stay grounded while chaos rages around you. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Resilience won't fall from the sky. It won't come from binge-watching motivational clips. It won't come from pretending everything is fine. It comes from training, from choosing every day to build micro habits that strengthen your mental immune system. It's breath by breath, choice by choice, connection by connection. It's saying no to digital poison, yes to recovery, no to self-criticism, yes to self-compassion. And here's the beauty. Resilience isn't just personal, it's contagious. When you stay calm under pressure, you give others permission to do the same. When you refuse to spiral into panic, you anchor the room. When you choose growth after setbacks, you light the path for someone else stumbling in the dark. That's why resilience matters today more than ever. Not because the world will get easier, it won't. But because with resilience, you don't just survive the storm, you become the person who helps others survive it too. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real definition of strength. So here's where it all comes together. Resilience isn't about becoming unshakable, and calmness isn't about silencing every storm. It's about building the habits, the mindset, and the connections that keep you from collapsing when the pressure rises. It's science, but it's also choice. Breath by breath, step by step. The world won't slow down for you. Crisis won't wait until you're ready. But with resilience, you don't just survive the storm. You become the steady hand others can hold on to when they feel like drowning. That is the real strength. Not invincibility, but the courage to stand, to recover, and to lead by example. So as you leave this video, remember, stay awake, don't let the noise numb you. Stay kind, especially to yourself, because self-compassion is strength, not weakness. Stay resilient, because the future belongs to those who adapt, not those who deny. This was PaperLoud, cutting through the chaos so you can rise above it. Take care. Bye.